Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Wednesday afternoon. Welcome into this edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Jeremy Jeffcoat. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. It is signing day. The college football rankings came out last night. We can talk about that a little bit later in the show. Auburn will take on Duke tonight in Cameron Indoor in the second half of the ACC-SEC Challenge. Boy, the SEC came out swinging last night. Only one defeat on the leisure, and that was Kentucky, surprisingly falling to Clemson 70-66. Otherwise than that, it was a clean sweep. The SEC taking down the
I think Kentucky's going to be in a little bit of a rebuild this year.
Yeah.
And I think that was expected. Because I like the hire. I think he's going to kind of rebuild the Pitino way of doing Kentucky rather than the Cal way.
Right.
But it's going to take him a couple of years.
Yeah, I could probably see that. Some great games tonight. We'll talk about some of those. Alabama at North Carolina, Virginia at Florida, Pittsburgh at Mississippi State, Texas at NC State, Vandy at Virginia Tech, and, of course, I mentioned number 2, your Auburn Tigers at number 9 Duke, 8:15 on ESPN. That's the one we're interested in for sure. Never thought I'd see Auburn play in Cameron Indoor. But
no,
it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's a tough place to play. It's
oh yeah,
it's got its reputation for a reason.
No question.
So we'll see. We'll see how they do tonight, and it's one of those things, man. You'd love to get that win, but if you don't, it's still okay.
That's right.
So
yeah, I mean Auburn's 7-0. They're ahead of schedule. There's no question about that. So, but it got to hold the mantle here for the SEC.
That's right.
The way that it started, for sure. All right, it is signing day, and this was kind of one of those exciting days. It used to be in February. You used to wait. Now they moved the early signing day, and that started out. It was just going to be let the guys that know where they want to go. Well, of course, this turns into the signing day, and now you just have that one later in February. So Auburn basically going according to Chalk here. They lost one defensive back to Florida State with a flip. He was just a very recent flip, I think, from USC to Auburn. Shamar Aro, I think he goes to Florida State. But Auburn, Deuce Knight does sign with Auburn today. That was the headliner. That was the quarterback they needed. That was the quarterback they were after. That's a big one. Jared Smith, he's a 5-star as far as 24/7 is concerned.
Holding Deuce Knight is a big. Holding Deuce Knight is a big.
Yeah.
And I don't know that from the things I've read and heard about Deuce Knight, he's not necessarily a guy that is expected to start as a true freshman right away. He's a guy that may take a year to develop. Right.
Right. I think that's the plan.
And I think that's the plan. And so, but when you get that 5-star quarterback of the future, it opens the eyes of other players. Other players gravitate to quarterbacks.
They do.
And so it not only sets you up for success in this cycle and in the portal, but sets you up for success in the next recruiting cycle too, if you can do what you need to do on the field.
He is the number 4 quarterback in the country. He is a 5-star composite across the board. He's 6'4", 206 pounds, out of Lucedale, Mississippi. Left-hander. He is.
Lefties throw the prettiest balls.
They do. Brandon Cox was left-hander. Auburn's had some success with that in the past. But he's the guy definitely that Auburn needed, and like you said, you'd love to see. I fully expect Auburn to go to the portal and get at least one, maybe two quarterbacks out of the portal, depending on what happens with Hank Brown. But then you have Walker White and Deuce Knight, battling. You let those guys kind of ease their way into this. Maybe they are. Certainly you would hope one of those two guys is going to be the future of Auburn for a couple of years and maybe can lead you, into a much better future than what the past has been for the last 4 years. But like I said, Jared Smith, defensive lineman, Auburn was had a bunch of transfers playing on the defensive line this past year. A lot of those guys are gone now. You really needed to bring in some big-time defensive linemen. You got it with Malik Autry, who is a 5-star according to 24/7. He's a 4-star composite, but Jared Smith, a 5-star, 24/7, 4-star composite. But you're talking about, the number 2, the number 3, the number 4, the number 5 player in the state of Alabama.
But don't overlook Darian Smith either, who I believe is a late flip from Tennessee. Even though he's 3-star rated, he's another interior defensive line guy.
No doubt. Antonio Coleman out of Saraland, a guy that flip-flopped from back and forth from Alabama to Auburn to Alabama to Auburn. Well, he finally does sign with Auburn. There's another guy, a top 200 guy on that defensive line. Hopefully that will be the future there, again, that interior defensive line with him and Malik Autry. And Jordan Crawford, just waiting for him to sign. Don't know if he's officially sent his in yet, but that's another piece to that interior. This class was hoping to be maybe a top 5 class, maybe even to push that because there was talk of a flip from Naheem Alford. He ends up flipping from Ohio State, but he flips to Oregon. There's still Justice Terry out there. There's been some smoke around that. Big-time defensive lineman that is a Georgia commit, but he is waiting to announce his commitment on Friday. It's probably a long shot for Auburn, but there has been a lot of talk there. And from what I understand, they were putting together a pretty good NIL package for him. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's another piece that we'll have to wait until Friday. But pretty much everybody, I think, is still going to be according to schedule here to sign with Auburn in this class. Where it'll end up, not sure. It'll be a top 10 class. I'm fairly certain, but it won't be that top 5 class. And you have to ask yourself, if you're Auburn, well, how much did this poor season, another 5-7, another losing season, how much did that affect this class? Could you have, if you overachieved, if you won that 8 or 9 games, would this be a top 5? Would this be a top 3? Could you even have pushed for a number 1 class? I don't know.
We have no way of knowing. But it does. Look, winning helps everything.
No question.
Winning helps recruiting. Winning helps everything. So I don't think there's any doubt that wherever the class finishes, I think you could probably go, well, if we had won 8 games this year, might have been better,
It's always.
By the way, I looked ahead at Auburn's schedule for next year because, just because I figured this might come up. And, I look on it, I'm penciling in 6 wins, right?
Didn't we do that last year?
The other 6 are, to me, varying degrees of we'll see.
Right.
But so I don't think it's and I'm sure we'll get around to talking about what should the expectation be and what is the expectation for next year. But yeah, this class, does Alvin Henderson contribute early? Maybe.
Depends on how, what happens with Jeremiah Cobb and Damari Austin.
Yeah.
Do both those guys come back? Because that they're going to be the ones with the experience. But you do bring in, Alvin Henderson, who, ran for, 10,000 yards in his career. He's not a big stature guy, 5'9", but 200 pounds.
Well, he's 200 pounds, yeah.
He's built like a running back.
Yeah, no, he's built like Mark Ingram. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what the style back he is, kind of a low center of gravity sort of back.
Right.
But
I'd take what he did. I'd take what Mark Ingram did.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I think you could look for as early contributors. I think Jared Smith and Quan Fagans both could be early contributors. Malik Autry, I expect to be an early contributor.
Yeah.
Alvin Henderson, Antonio Coleman, all of those could be definite early contributors. And the offensive line class, we'll have to see.
Brock Shule, who's an offensive tackle that they really, really like. I didn't have him on there. It was a little bit later, but he did sign with Auburn as well. That's a guy that they feel really good about as being one of the future there on that bookend. But you got Tyler Johnson coming back, hopefully. You got DeAndre Carter still there, the 5-star out of California from last year. That's, both those guys kind of, Carter redshirting and Tyler Johnson kind of being in and out. They feel like maybe he can take over one of those roles next year. So still some time, but this offensive line class, I wish it could have been a little bit better. It kind of looks similar to some of the classes that we've had where the guys are, ranked in the 400s. You'd much rather see some big-time numbers by that. But if this coaching staff did an unbelievable job evaluating the talent on the last year's class. If it's anywhere close to this year's class, then Auburn will be just fine, and we won't be complaining about a lack of talent much longer. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting started on this edition of the Auburn Blitz. We'll be right back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dayville, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
Heavy-duty trucks and heavy-duty savings are at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Big work means big towing and hauling ability. Today, you can drive away brand new Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra 2500 HD trucks with discounts up to $6,000 off. Take your choice, Chevy or GMC heavy-duty 2500 series trucks up to $6,000 off right now during truck season. So let's get to work. Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, your heavy-duty truck headquarters. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you, just getting started on today's show. We are brought to you each and every day by Sensa Green, heating, cooling, and insulation for air that's fresh and clean. Call Sensa Green, 334-487-3555. Also, Russell Do-It Center. They got 9 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supply, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out Russell Do-It Center today. Pick up a gift for dad or uncle or mom or anybody. Got a little bit of everything there at Russell Do-It Center. You'll be glad that you went. They can beat the big box store. Also, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. No job is too big, no job is too small. Commercial or residential. Give them a call today for all your needs, 334-531-0199. It is signing day. We'll move on from just a minute, but Jordan Crawford does sign officially with Auburn. That's the number 161 player in the country, so another top 200 guy, number 11 player in the state of Alabama, 6'1", 300 pounds out of Parker in Birmingham. And, of course, Parker has got a championship game to play on Friday. As they will take on Saraland, I guess. So that's going to be a fantastic game to watch. So, and Brock Shule he did sign as well, the offensive tackle. Okay, college football playoff rankings.
Yep.
Last night, we've been doing this for the last several weeks. This was the penultimate college football playoff rankings. There'll be one more after the championship game.
Which is a fancy way of saying next to last.
That is true.
Yes.
Thanks, Jay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be sophisticated.
It's a $5 way of saying next to last.
No, next to last.
Yeah.
So Oregon comes out number 1, Texas number 2, Penn State 3, Notre Dame moves up to number 4. Notre Dame is in the playoff.
Oh, well,
they don't have a championship game.
Yep,
they're in the playoff, of course.
The only thing that would have knocked them out would have been a loss to USC, and that, of course, didn't happen. I was actually surprised that
they did give up 35 in that game.
I expected Georgia to be ranked at 4 with Notre Dame at 5.
Okay.
Just because, and I know Georgia has 2 losses, Notre Dame has 1, but the one was Northern Illinois. And they've sort of made up for it. I mean, they've dominated the rest of their slate pretty much, so –
Not that they've played very many.
Yeah, but,
Army and Navy and
Air Force Marines, they played them all. But
did they play the Coast Guard?
I sort of expected Georgia to be one slot ahead of Notre Dame, with Notre Dame just ahead of Ohio State. But so it didn't work out exactly like I thought. So, and I sort of expected Indiana to be ahead of SMU, honestly. So.
You surprised Ohio State only fell to 6?
No.
Losing to Michigan.
Not really. It's a rivalry game, and they dropped them 4 slots. I do think what'll be interesting is the slots, the ranking and the seeding are 2 different things.
Okay.
So if you have conference champions, Oregon, Texas, let's say SMU, right? And who else am I looking at? Could SMU with a big win over Clemson, could they jump 2 spots ahead of Ohio State? Which would put Ohio State, then you're looking at them on a, it's a different sort of thing. It's home road stuff in most of it, but yeah. And I think the big conversation was, what a surprise. I posted on Twitter over the weekend that I thought it was pretty well set in stone, or at least as close to stone as possible, before these rankings came out, that it was going to come down to, Alabama being in unless Clemson knocks off SMU. And I still think that's where it is. Now, Clemson could beat SMU by 30, and maybe SMU falls behind Alabama. But if it's a competitive game and Clemson wins, then, they're not going to drop SMU out for playing a championship game. So
I wouldn't think they would. So, that to me, that's what it comes down to, like you said.
Yeah.
Clemson, that South Carolina win over Clemson, South Carolina may be the hottest team. Certainly in the SEC, maybe the hottest team in the country,
right?
Coming down the stretch. But I go back to, and I told Luke last night, I'm going to remain as constant, and I will always say head-to-head matters.
Has to matter.
You cannot put South Carolina above Alabama.
Every or virtually every sporting competitive event, when you have a tiebreaker, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head.
Yeah.
And I think it has to be that way. So I think that's why
Ole Miss might have an argument.
Yeah, absolutely. South Carolina people are angry because they're behind not only Alabama but Ole Miss, but you lost to both those teams.
Yeah.
So putting you third of those makes sense. To me, the argument was between Alabama and Ole Miss.
Which is worse, the Vandy loss or the Kentucky loss?
Yeah, well, somebody brought this up last night. Kentucky has 1 win against a Power 5 opponent or Power 4 opponent.
Yeah.
And it's Ole Miss.
Right.
It's the only win they have against a Power 4 opponent.
They were bad.
No, I mean,
they were really bad.
Historically bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was not. Was that at home?
No, it was at Kentucky.
Okay, it was at Kentucky. Okay. Well, either way, that one probably nullified. But Miami, do they have an argument to get in? I mean, they are 10-2.
0-1 against current top 25.
Don't they have a better record against their competition? Was actually, I think, had a better winning percentage than Alabama's competition.
I haven't looked at that, but I do know that the graphic they put up last night was against current top 25 teams. Alabama was 3-1. Miami was 0-1.
Okay.
Against teams with winning records this year, Alabama was 6-whatever. Miami was 4-2. So there was a, there was a delineation there.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, and I guess most Alabama fans will be rooting for SMU. That would be
absolutely.
So that would never
pony up.
Never thought they'd be saying that.
Yeah,
did they?
yeah.
But, and every Auburn fan would be rooting for Clemson.
There you go. Which hurts too.
Yeah. I mean, I to be perfectly honest, I hope Rhett Lashley. I hope SMU wins it all.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that happen. I always liked Lashley. I think, he's a quality guy. And just to SMU, that'd be what a great story for them to make the playoff and to be in that situation. But
about 40 years after getting the death penalty.
Yeah, really. What was that, 1986, 87?
Something like that.
Whew. Yeah.
It wasn't 87. It would have been before then. So
yeah, I think 87 was the year that they sat out.
The main thing I remember is there was a 60 Minutes report or something.
Yeah.
About it. And they were talking about all the college coaches that were descending on the SMU campus to recruit the players, and Ray Perkins was walking around out there. Yeah,
he was. We got to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensigreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates. Visit Sensigreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes. They're installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
The results are in, and Game Day Men's Health in Auburn has delivered. The certified medical team at Game Day Men's Health wants to help you feel better. Text 334-209-3706 to set up your free testosterone check and consult. Results back in as little as 15 minutes. Tired of feeling tired? Text 334-209-3706 to Game Day Men's Health in Auburn. They make you feel better.
Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 for Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering, or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you, taking you up to 1 o'clock. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. I always like to remind you about Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines. Great place to have lunch there in Auburn or Montgomery. They got daily lunch specials. Go and check out. The food is absolutely tremendous. They got one location there in Montgomery, one in Auburn on East Glen. They got their website, steaksinwine.com. That's just the letter N, steaksinwine.com. Go and check that out. You can see the daily specials, see what they have today. They also have a wide variety of wines. They have a tremendous selection of steaks and ribs, steak burgers, Conecuh burgers. That is literally Conecuh sausage mixed with the meat into a patty. It is absolutely delicious. I can vouch for that personally. Go and check that out. Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine, tremendous business there, and great partners here with us on the Auburn Blitz. Keldrick Falk's brother, Jacaleb Falk, officially signs with Auburn out of Highland Home, 4-star, number 141 player in the country. Number 9 player in the state of Alabama. I'll say this for certainly Hugh Freeze. They have dominated the state of Alabama this year. And, you can say, I'm not sure Alabama put a lot of effort into the state of Alabama. But I know for certain that Auburn did, and that's one of the ways that Auburn has gone historically. When they're really good, they have brought in the best in the state of Alabama, and that's a great place to start if you're coming in Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, that's one of the disadvantages if you're Alabama of a coaching change, is that you've got now new relationships, even though he kept some people, and Kane Womack has in-state connections.
Yeah.
But it's not the same, and it takes time to build that up. So, yeah, take advantage of it for sure.
Yeah. Ty says he hears that Cam Coleman might enter the transfer portal. Well, I'm hearing a lot of things, so I'll believe it when I see it. But I don't. There is nobody that's you look at and say, well, that guy. There's absolutely no chance that he does. So let's see what this class finishes today, Ty, and then we'll worry about the transfer portal tomorrow. But the class is getting, it's getting better and better with each, minute signing the guys that are committed. And right now I think Auburn probably, is around 6. Maybe they'll finish there. That's still a very, very good class, far better than a lot of the SEC. So that's going to be what? If Georgia's 1, Alabama's 2, maybe Texas may be up there too. So you're going to probably finish 4th or 5th in the SEC out of 16 teams. That's probably where you want to be.
Yeah, I think to me, as long as you're within that top 8 or 10 in the country, you can make that work, right? You don't have to be
if you get the right
2.
players.
If you get the right players, because it's all, it's all about getting your share of that top 100 and top 200 players. As long as you do that, you can build the rest of your class.
It's about filling your needs.
Yeah.
And, and that's I think Auburn is doing that for sure.
Where you get into trouble is when you're sitting at 15 to 20th in the nation, but you're 9th or 10th in the SEC. And then you start to get into trouble.
Yeah. Okay, we were mentioning during the break, I was talking, what if UNLV beats Boise State? UNLV is number 20 right now. They're 10-2. But you got Army out there. Army's 10-1. They play Tulane. Now, Tulane got beat by Memphis last week, so that's taking a little bit of the luster off that. But if Army were to beat Tulane and then beat Navy and finish 11-1, is there an argument to say, well, you're looking for that group of 5 team? Is it, would an 11-1 Army be better than a 10-2 UNLV?
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
Because that would mean UNLV knocking off a number 10 opponent this week. So they would have a win over a top 10 opponent. They would jump from 20, I would think, at least to 16, if not 15.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, they would be the group of 5.
And Army would be beating an unranked Tulane team,
right,
and an unranked Navy.
Right.
So I don't know that is in the cards. To me, the only thing that does. How about this situation? How about Clemson beats SMU, and we're all thinking Alabama's out, but then UNLV beats Boise. Boise drops out. It still would take their slot. So I still think Alabama would be out, but would it? How does that SMU-Alabama argument go?
That's a good question.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. If Clemson blows out, if they blow out SMU, does Miami have a chance to sneak in?
Clemson's still going to get that slot, though.
Yeah.
They're still going to get that automatic bid.
But if there was a spot open, then I don't know. We'll see.
It seems pretty cut and dried. It seems pretty cut and dried that if SMU wins, then SMU is in and Alabama gets the last spot. Yeah. If Clemson wins, I don't think the committee wants to drop a conference championship game loser out, especially one that's undefeated. That's 11-2. And they want these championship games to matter. So my guess is SMU would be rated ahead of Alabama. So to me, it's one or the other.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take another break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone 256-750-0381 or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025. We're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit allagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Tony chimes in and says the committee chair basically said last night on ESPN that Alabama would probably get the nod if SMU loses.
No,
he didn't actually say it blatantly, but he hinted in that direction.
Well, he asked, could it? He was asked, could it happen?
Yeah,
and he said, yeah, it could.
Could.
Yeah, because I think what his statement was
that would that lead you to believe that if it's a 3-touchdown, 4-touchdown,
that would lead you to believe that it's going to depend on how the Clemson SMU game goes.
Yeah.
But what he basically said was that the teams who are not playing this week, you have no more data to put in on them. So your opinion on them is there, and it's not changing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean their ranking can't change because of what happens around them with the teams that are playing this weekend. So.
Okay. All right, Auburn and Duke tonight, as I mentioned, the ACC, SEC, ACC Challenge going on right now. SEC just dominated last night. Tennessee beat Syracuse 96-70. Oklahoma beat Georgia Tech 76-61. Texas A&M took down Wake Forest 57-44. Ole Miss went into Louisville and won 86-63. Arkansas went to Miami and won 76-73. Georgia held suit at home 69-48 over Notre Dame. And South Carolina went to Boston College, went 73-51. LSU beat Florida State in Baton Rouge 85-75. Kentucky, the only SEC team to fall last night to Clemson 70-66. So
don't leave out Mizzou with 98-93 over California.
Yeah, did I not say that?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, Mizzou, they were down 18 in that game.
Yeah.
I believe, by the way, and came back and won 98-93. Okay, so Auburn at Duke. Duke is 5-2, the number 9 team in the country. They beat Maine by 34, beat Army by 42, lost to Kentucky at a neutral site by 77-72, beat Wofford by 51, beat Arizona on the road 69-55. Now that's an impressive win.
Yep.
Beating Arizona. Lost to Kansas at a neutral site 75-72, and then beat Seattle University, whatever that is, by 22. So these teams, Cooper Flagg, maybe one of the premier players, young.
He's fun to watch.
Freshman.
I watched some of them the other night.
Yeah, he's must-see TV. But like you said, I mean, it's just Duke doesn't lose a lot of games at home.
Right.
And there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
They're a really good team, but that is an incredible environment. Now, Auburn should be used to it because they've got quite an environment themselves at Neville Arena. So it's an interesting
It is a little different
matchup
when it's turned against you.
This is true.
Yes.
Now, I think Auburn's, low post game is going to give Duke some issues. Duke's outside game probably give Auburn some issues, but defense travels.
Yeah.
So I expect Auburn to be in the game. I expect them. Auburn has shot 52.5% field goal percentage for the year. I mean, that shows you they're getting a lot of short, a lot of dunks, a lot of short, easy putbacks, things like that. So you keep shooting at that high percentage, you're going to be fine.
It may come down to whose style of play, who's able to impose their style of play on the other one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so many times in basketball, it's kind of what it comes down to.
That's true. Matchups.
Yeah.
I mean, that you see that in March all the time. You just sometimes you run into a bad matchup, and no matter if they're a lower seed or not.
Yeah, you have those one or two guys that you just can't stop. I just can't stop this guy, So
Alabama at North Carolina, what do you think?
Should be an interesting game.
North Carolina kind of is struggling. I think they've lost 2 in a row.
I think Alabama got hit with the injury bug. So lost
Oregon. Yeah,
I forget his name. But prominent, a very important player.
I can't remember yet.
The one thing they've said about Alabama all year is they're very deep, right? So you deal with that and go on the road to North Carolina. It'll be interesting. It's another one where, you might be ranked 10 slots higher, but you're going on the road to a place that's tough to win. Chapel Hill is not easy to win.
Yeah, I think Alabama plays at 6:15, and then about 10, 11 miles down the road, Auburn will play right after that on the.
I wonder if Alabama and Auburn get together and go to Waffle House afterwards or something. You know what I mean?
If they both win.
If they both win, yeah. Get together and go have some loaded hash browns,
Reitzel. That's
Reitzel, yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting? That would be a fun little cameo.
I can see it now. Pearl calls up.
All the fans would be like, what?
Like, hey, why don't you meet us over at the Waffle House on the interstate?
Well, they got rid of Gus. We don't go to Waffle House. We do better than the Waffle House.
I love Waffle House.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
But,
Look, I went to Waffle House one time. I was actually going to a concert in Tuscaloosa. Came out of the concert, was starving because I hadn't eaten anything all night. And we go to Waffle House. We might have had a few adult beverages along the way. So it's like, give me the loaded double hash browns, right? Everything on it. The chili, the jalapenos, everything.
Wow.
The kid that was working put so many jalapenos on there, I had to give him a standing ovation. My eyes were watering, my forehead sweating, but it was delicious.
You can't beat that.
That's been like 6-7 years ago. It's still the best hash browns I've ever had. So
there you go. All right, we got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. One final segment on the way right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensigreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit Sensigreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare. Serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State Games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025. We're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State Games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit allagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you, closing things out to 1 o'clock. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us again. Signing day. Auburn still, I think, sitting where they were. Nobody, as I can tell, has signed officially since then. But you still got Blake Woodby out there and Donovan Starr. We'll see what happens with him. I think he may be – there was word that he was going to wait till Friday. Now, with Alford not coming to Auburn, we'll see what happens with him. He may end up signing today. Will it be with Auburn? Will it be with Alabama? Will it be with Vandy? I don't know. But I think pretty much it's going to – everybody else is pretty much solid. They're just waiting for their time. And then Justice Terry, again, that may be a long shot for Auburn, but I think he's going to sign on Friday, so that's one to keep an eye on as well. Looks like Auburn's going to finish maybe in the 6-7 range for a class. Again, that's exactly that ain't bad, especially with a team that's on 2 losing seasons in a row. Yeah. That's actually pretty extraordinary, to be honest. So I'm really looking forward to Anquan Fagans. That was the one that I was really excited about. Elijah Melendez, the linebacker out of Kissimmee, or is it Kissimmee?
Kissimmee,
yeah. Florida. I think that dude's going to be a beast there in the middle. So some really good pieces. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the coming days when it gets finished officially, and we see where all these guys. Another thing too, the vast majority of these guys are going to be enrolling at Auburn in January. That's just the way that it is. That's the way that it goes nowadays. You see so many of these guys.
Well, if you want to play early, you come in.
You got to. I mean, that's part of it. You got to get ahead of the game. All right, on this day, it is December the 4th. This year's almost gone, JJ. Where's it gone? 1909, on this day, the first ever Canadian Football League Grey Cup. The first ever. They've been playing football for a long time.
1909. Doug Flutie didn't play in it.
I don't think he was in that one.
Okay.
This was the University of Toronto Blues. They beat the Toronto Parkdale Canoe Club 26-6. I was a big fan of the Canoe Club.
The Canoe Club, yeah.
Yeah, but they came up short that day. On this day, 1982, the 48th Heisman Trophy, Herschel Walker, the great Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
I guess was a junior.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a freshman in 80. That's right.
Freshman in 80.
Yeah.
When, you can make the argument, and he should have won in 80, but George Rogers was really good too.
That's true. 2004, the 13th SEC championship game, Auburn defeated Tennessee 38-28. Actually went to that game. Very good. Sat around a bunch of Tennessee fans. Not happy. I was very happy. Of course, that 2004 team, one of the best teams Auburn's ever produced, shut out. Wish they had a playoff back then.
Yep.
Would have loved to have seen Auburn take on that USC. I know everybody believes that USC team, they were so good. They were good. Auburn wasn't bad either. I would have loved to have seen those teams play each other. And on this day, 2010, the 19th SEC championship game, Auburn hammered South Carolina 56-17. Of course, they would go on to win the national championship. Cam Newton, the phenom that he was, one of the greatest college football players in the history of college football, as far as I'm concerned. Happy birthday today, Max Baer, Jethro.
Yeah.
On the Beverly Hills.
That's right.
Dennis
Max Baer Jr.
Max Baer Jr., yeah. Dennis Wilson, drummer for the Beach Boys.
Oh, okay.
One of the Wilson brothers.
Yeah.
Died in 1983. I think he had a car accident, a boating accident or something. I forget. Drowned. It was something odd. Jeff, the dude, is 75 years old.
That's crazy.
The dude, Jeff Bridges, born on this day, 1949. Bernard King,
New York Knicks.
Very good player. Also did a cameo, did an episode of Miami Vice.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, 1956. And his dad was, oh, goodness. Who was the great Celtic center? Won 10 championships.
Oh, Bill Russell?
Bill Russell was his dad. And he was a judge, and he was fixing games.
Oh, in the show?
He wanted his, in the show. He wanted his son.
I was like, I didn't know Bill Russell was Bernard King's dad. Okay.
In the episode of Miami Vice.
I got you.
And he was like, he wanted him to fix the game because he was a judge, but he had a betting problem. Lee Smith, that was a long way to go for no. Lee Smith, one of the great closers of all time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty common name.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Lee Smith, a great, intimidating closer. Born on this day, 1957. Frank Reich.
Maryland quarterback, Buffalo Bills.
Led one of the greatest comebacks in college football at Maryland and in the NFL.
Yep.
Was a comeback kid. Went on to he coached Indianapolis for a while. Got fired.
Yeah.
Like most NFL coaches. Marissa Tomei.
Lovely Marissa Tomei.
She's an Oscar winner, Jerry.
She is.
Marissa Tomei, born on this day, 1964. The lovely Marissa Tomei. Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, as far as I know, the first hip-hop artist to achieve a net worth of $1 billion.
I believe it. And his wife is pretty.
We're right there, too.
She's right there, too.
Yeah.
How about Corliss Williamson?
Great basketball player.
Big Nasty.
Yeah.
Man, those 90s. I love those.
Those Arkansas teams were fun to watch, man.
40 Minutes of Hell. The lovely Tyra Banks.
Yeah, Sports Illustrated swimsuit. Couldn't wait for that swimsuit edition.
I'm telling you, I always had a thing for Tyra Banks. 1973, and Jelly Roll. Born on this day, 1984.
He's hot as a firecracker.
Is he?
Well, I mean, he's killing it.
Okay.
He's got hit records all over the place.
congratulations to him.
He can sneeze into a microphone right now and it goes top 20.
That's going to wrap it up for us. He's JJ. I'm Andy. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.